So I have a couple things I want to show off today. The first is that I'm drawing the game now in 3D. Obviously it used to be a top-down two-dimensional view, and now it's actually drawn in perspective. So the players, instead of just being squares, are now cubes. And yeah, so we're kind of moving toward more of what the game will eventually look like. Obviously the graphics still are pretty primitive, but the other thing is that we can now throw the frisbee. So if a player gives a good in cut, I can now click on the field somewhere where I want the disc to go, and this player will then launch the frisbee like that. And the players can do a pretty good job of attacking the disc on in cuts. They can attack in and get it. On deep cuts, they don't know what to do yet, so that's still a problem. But as you can see, we can kind of move the disc down the field. And so yeah, the throwing in general is just going to be a lot easier in this game than in the previous one. You know, you don't have to worry about all these sorts of things like the attack angle of the disc and pivoting out and stuff like that. When you want to throw it, you just have to click throw. And I'll try to add in ways that you can tweak that stuff if you want. But in general, it should be very simple to throw. Just click where you want it to go. The other thing I wanted to show is that I have now a preference editor in the game. Basically it gives you some different numbers that you can tweak. And this is just for debugging purposes, at least right now. But basically, as I'm making the game and there's some number I need to tweak a bit, like maybe the players, how fast the players are running or how fast they accelerate or something like that. It can be really annoying if I have to leave the game and edit the source code, compile it, and then get back in the game every time I want to see it change, because that could take 10 or 15 seconds. And if I have to keep iterating on the game, or if I have to keep iterating on the value and just tweak it just by fractions every single time, that could take a long time. That can be very annoying. So now I have this editor in game. So for instance, I can just take the top speed and just kind of crank that up, and now the players are going to run around very fast. And the acceleration isn't really good enough to keep up with it, so they're kind of moving around like they are on ice skates. But I can move the acceleration up as well, and now they're going to kind of fly around like bees because they're going very fast and they have very good acceleration. There's also, if you notice, a thing in there for the drag on the frisbee, and I'll get into that in another video when I talk about the physics of the disc flight. But that stuff is still being fleshed out. Obviously, the disc just flies. It doesn't, there's no height to it right now. It just kind of flies along the ground. So that's something that we'll need to change. But anyway, that's it for now. And they're obviously doing something very weird now, so I'll have to fix that. But anyway, that's it for now.